So I can like look it up maybe.
It's called
It's streaming now, by the way.
Backrooms. It's like Backrooms Escape something.
I think
Escape
I
from
have
the-
that actually.
Well, no. There's Escape from the Backrooms, and then this just came out. This is different.
Backrooms
Oh.
escaped.
Yeah, it was like $6. I thought it was pretty fun, and it's getting updated. Like they just came up with like 3 more levels. I literally saw
Yeah,
it
bro.
because
New
You guys
Lethal
know-
Company dropped.
you guys know that black guy that plays
Yeah.
like horror games, and like he like disconnects like fucking inhumanly fast.
Oh, too mad.
That's not not too mad.
Too mad.
What the fuck are you
Ooh.
talking? Too Mad died playing Overwatch. It's not a horror game.
Low-key
I
me.
forgot about that.
No, I mean like
Lucky
it's
me.
the. How have you not seen him on? I literally saw it on TikTok, which is why I wanted to buy the
Yeah, I
game.
know
but
who you're
it's-
talking
Wait,
about.
who?
Yeah. It's,
I don't know his name, but I know who you're
Yeah,
talking
I don't know his
about.
name. But, like his whole thing is he has like a bunch of clips of like him streaming horror games, and like the second that he gets jump scared, he like disconnects or tabs out at like an.
Not even
infinite-
like he's about to get jump scared and he instantly closed the game.
Yeah, it's like, but he
Resident
does
Evil,
it.
he's going up the stairs and the old lady, it's the part where the old lady like bursts through the window. And he's like, yep, she's gonna come through the window. And then like he walks up, and as soon as she breaks through the glass, like she doesn't even like touch his character yet, and he's already like at the main menu.
But he literally he disconnects so fast, it's literally inhuman. Like I have never seen somebody press a set of controls that fast. But like I got a bunch of TikToks of him playing that game, so I just bought it because it was fun. I
It was
played
like
it.
a
You know what
Escape
Ethan's
the
gonna
Backrooms,
say?
right, you
He's
said?
gonna say
It's called Backrooms Escape. You can look at the activity feed because I just
fell
bought
for
it. It'll
you
probably-
fell
I'll
for
do it,
Chinese
yeah.
social
It's-
engineering.
It's
Huh?
Backrooms Escape.
Um,
Um,
The stream's
just
on
say you
now,
fell
get
for
ready
the
to
Chinese
review.
social engineering,
yeah,
bro.
I am.
Thank you, bro.
Just say China controls your
Um,
mind, bro.
Okay, so of course you're not really gonna be doing anything on A. Really at most what I do is I just like to, even if you don't do crits, fuck. Even if you don't do crits,
I love you.
then I just kind of put like sticks on the door up top, because like 8 stickies up here will still kill everything that comes through. And really
Where do I
nobody
put
has
'em?
to, just like above that door, you know, like whether
I
you
was
do
playing
crits or not,
RuneScape.
you could just put them like up here.
Okay.
And then you'll just.
What if I put them on B?
If you put them on B, it's fine. I just like doing that at the start because usually what they'll do and what's safer, what we also do, is to
Is
send a
ink
bunch
walks out into it or the
Yeah.
heavy?
Yeah, to have DTs go blow himself up.
Yeah.
But it's to usually at the start, if they're smart, they're gonna send a bunch of people to A first, because it's gonna help clear out spy, help clean out any hiders. They get better cap time. They can get bigger buffs. So if they send a bunch of people to A, you could actually get good value with the trap, because either you're just gonna kill their flank or their spy, or you'll kill like 4 or 5 people. So, and that'll slow down the cap time and allow your spy to kind of spot for a little bit longer. So if you want to just put it in B, it's fine. But I think it's fine just because I can have my spy call it, and then I can just play back here, and I can just.
Okay, what if I put stickies there and then I have my medic run crits and I just throw the stickies up?
Well, I mean, if you want Ethan to or Zoomsy to go crits, I'm not on defense, but I don't think you even with like non-crit sticks, you can still get like a kill if you just have like 4. So even if you don't do it at that door, sometimes I do it on this one. So I'll back up and I'll put the sticks on those 2 doors, and then that way your flank can easily spot it, and then you can just play on B. So then, of course, if they try going behind, you'll get those kills, and then you can just instantly put sticks close because you're already going to be like right here. So at the start, just like you can honestly even have your scout on B at the start, just because you don't really need your spy to die on A. You don't need your flank spotting A very early. So you're gonna have like your telly and go up top. You're gonna have your gun here. Your sniper does not really have to ever peek on defense unless their sniper's dead or you guys are all peeking together. Like your sniper, unless their sniper is not set up yet, if their sniper's holding the angle, you should never be trying to do this on demo, pyro, sniper, heavy. Like there's really, unless you guys are all peeking together or the sniper's dead or you're Ubered, there's no reason to be peeking the B main door because it's so hard for them to get through. Just play it like this the whole time. If we get curious and peek their sniper, that's going to open up an opportunity for them to push, right?
I learned my lesson in Maine.
I get it, bro. I mean, I haven't even learned my lesson yet, so. Also, every sniper I've played with has not learned their lesson. So.
Biscoff, it will be
Um,
hard to get it through his head.
It's a
I
very
think.
hard lesson.
We're gonna need to say his name directly
I think
a
every
lot. I
single
feel
yeah. I think just every time we see someone about to peek
that's been the only way
the-
I've found to get it to work.
that door, we just have to call them out by name.
You
I've
just
literally
have
had to do it with
name,
every sniper
yeah.
I've played with. I remember like last season
Yeah.
when we were playing against somebody help, Arb literally admitted to running it down on purpose, and I was like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, I don't know. I was literally just like yelling at him the whole time, like, dude, why the fuck are you peeking and you're just dying to mountain anyway? But anyway, uh, so like you're just gonna have your gun playing close, whatever. And then you'll have your soldier heavy play up top. So I like to play up top at the start as well, just to help with the sack. Usually it's good to have 4 sticks on B main, because your pyro can hold the door, but he can't hold it alone. Like if they have 3 people peek the pyro, he's gonna die, or your medic's gonna have to use. So usually what I like to do is, at least for the initial sack, is put like 4 in main and then 4 here, and then I'll just play up top. That way, when they try clearing up top with like a pyro or a bonk scout or whatever, you can help your soldier and heavy a lot more. And then you still have sticks in main, right? So you can det, help your soldier heavy, and then help your pyro right here. It's not totally necessary. I just think usually, like if your soldier and heavy are weak or alone in upper, it's very easy to clear them out.
Should I jump up there with
You could just jump up with a pipe. Like if you have traps in main, you just jump up with a pipe, or you can take the telly, and then I'll.
Yeah, I was gonna ask a sarcastic question, but then I realized I don't even have, or I would have stickies on the ground.
Yeah. So, anyway, you can have your scout on B at the start to help with spy checking and stuff like that. And then when your spy calls from the B door here, like what they're on, or what's going back, then you can have your scout come back. Spy for this map on defense DR is really good, just because there's so many resupply cabinets everywhere. Like you can easily just like get into the B spawn and do it, and then you could just play in like you could just play in like use like the heaven spawn the rest of the game. And there's like a bunch of like fucking like large packs everywhere as well, like large ammo and large health packs. So DR is pretty good on defense, especially because you're just gonna be kind of like spotting and then running away. They're going to be trying to lock out the spawns, because when you die, it's going to be like a really big pick for them. So when you're actually playing on B, you just have your soldier heavy play up top. Your scout can, spy check around the gun or around wishbone. If you don't see that their sniper is B main, I would expect him to either be going to lobby with the combo or drop down. So as soon as they cap A, if you don't see the sniper or your spy can't see what their sniper is, I would instantly just like stick this if you can, or you could just have like your sniper watch it or whatever. Because a lot of times, and what some invite teams have done is they'll have their spy go drop down with a DR disguised as a sniper, and he'll die. And then their actual sniper will go drop down and kill your medic. It is kind of like Reddit tech, but it does work. So you just kind of want to be mindful of that if you don't see the sniper dot. Whether the whole, he's doing the DR thing or whether he's actually just doing it himself. If they're bringing people back and they're trying to take your heaven, what I would do is instead of having your soldier go back, you would have your sniper go back. The thing is because your soldier needs to be an upper and your demo and pyro can control main without actually having to peek the door, if you have your sniper go back when your spy calls it, your sniper can just sit here and kill the people on point and then go back. Like it's very seamless, Or if they're trying to get a gun in heaven, your sniper can peek here, your scout's going to open the door for your sniper can literally be all the way back here, right? You'll peek, kill people on point, and then you'll go back. When they're trying to get in wishbone is a different play. If they're trying to get in wish, your soldier has to go back, because like a scout and a spy and sniper cannot really take 1v1s in this room. So if they're just like pressuring point, of course, like if your spy and scout are dealing with it well enough, you don't need to send people back, that's fine. But if they have people in your heaven or they have a lot of people on point, then I would have your scout like bonk and open the door, and your sniper can peek from all the way back here. That way, if the soldier is holding the door, the sniper doesn't die for it, right? So you just gotta, you want to make sure you communicate that. You don't want to send nobody back. Like, you don't want your soldier to think, oh, my sniper will go back, and your sniper to think, the other way around. But you don't want to send so many people back that B is alone, right? Like I would not want no sniper and no soldier on B. because that would mean that it's a lot harder for my heavy to give up or to hold upper. And if my heavy leaves upper, I have to look upper now, which means that my heavy and pyro have to hold main. So just make sure you guys kind of communicate who you want to send back. But generally, rule of thumb is if they're trying to get into your wishbone or they're going death hall, they're going all the way around, have your soldier go back. And if they're just pressuring the point, if your spy and scout need help, just have your sniper come shoot at it and then rotate away. For the exchanges on B, just like I said, we'll kind of just keep sticks up here. Usually the majority of the Uber I give to my pyro. Your pyro can just kind of stuff them, and it's pretty good if you can stuff them up in this corner and you can kind of skybox them here. They'll get caught in by the sticks and the air blast and the gun and whatnot. So yeah, and that way, the majority of the Uber goes to our pyro. Your demo can either look drop down or it can look up top, whatever. As long as you guys aren't flashing like a ton of people. They should try and clear concrete before the Uber, and should they do that, it's okay if you're a soldier and heavy to drop off. So, like, of course, clearing concrete before the Uber exchange is going to be really necessary, either that or the gun. And if your soldier and heavy say, like, guys, we can't hold upper, or I fell, or I died, or whatever, if you have to give up the height so that you can live and then refight later on, that's okay. So usually what we kind of do is if your heavy falls down, of course your soldier can get back up. Your heavy has to take a tele again. But if they destroy it, your heavy can just help hold main. And then as demo, I'll kind of play further back. So if my heavy falls down to the ground and they're taking an Uber exchange, we just keep it on our pyro. And then your heavy can look main, your demo can look up top. So what I was doing last time we played is basically me and Dotwet, like during dry fights and stuff like that. During Uber exchanges on demo, you don't want to be up top. But me and Dotwet were basically just like, okay, he'll hold main with our pyro, our soldier will play up top, and I can play up here because I can actually jump. But it's okay to give up concrete should you not have the resources to hold it, as long as you guys rotate back up there or at least your spam up there. But it's still good to have your heavy hold main, because having your heavy just like sit here is literally useless. You can't really do that much. So for the Uber exchanges, like if your gun dies but you have a banner or concrete players, you can play close. Okay, if you're down your gun, or if you're down your concrete players but you still have your gun, you can kind of play close. If you're down both gun and concrete, you can't play close unless you have Uber. Because the gun is going to help with main, it's going to help with up top. And if your concrete players are dead and there's no gun here, you can't confidently hold main because they're going to get through behind you. And if you're holding back, then you can't stuff the main door, so the sniper's going to peek. So really, once we're down those people, like if we lose our gun and we're far back or we're down our NG, whatever, I think it's better off to play further back, right? So your demo can stick off this door up here, right? If we have to back up and deal with people in wishbone, we can do that. And you can even have like your sniper and pyro wide on the point. So your sniper can be back here. So when they do get through that door, your sniper gets some shots. You just want to make sure that you're not full committing to like holding close if you're down your gun and your concrete players. But you don't just play here, right? If we have everybody just play here, we can't fucking see anything at all. If the soldier and demo swing or high bomb or whatever, then we're all going to die. So just make sure you're committing to one of those two things. And usually it's good for whoever's on B and their main calling. Just if there's people behind in wishbone, we need to commit to one of those two fights, right? So if the fuck? Oh. So if so like let's say we take an Uber exchange and we lose our gun in the post, if I hear that there's people behind in wishbone, we either have to commit to playing forward and walk with our combo, or back up, deal with the players in wish, and then refight, into their combo instead with our player advantage. The problem that most teams encounter when they're doing these like wishbone flanks, or if they get a gun and soldier and wish, is when they don't commit to either of those fights, right? If we just kind of sit here and don't really stuff their combo, they get through the doors, we back up into their flank, we're letting their combo in and backing up into the people that are trying to wrap us, right? So just make sure that you're dealing with one of those two things. And especially during Uber exchanges, if our flank can go back, then I'll just tell our flank to go back, whatever. But you want to make sure that like your demo and spy have pretty good communication of like what's behind or what's in front or what fights we're actually committing to. So yeah, when you're playing back, if they're like really forward, then it's better to take wish before they cap. That way you don't backspawn. If they do, like, if you do have to like backspawn, it's fine. But usually, both on offense and defense, it's better to take wish as fast as you can, because if you backspawn on C, like they could lock out that door, get through C, whatever, and recommitting C is generally really hard. Or even worse, they could just start taking wish and pressuring your flank in heaven and just capping E and ignoring C altogether. So, if we're here, we kind of have to swing out as a team, like whether you want to send your heavy here or your heavy up top, whatever. But if we all just kind of sit here and play spam, it's not going to work out. So we get here, get critials. If we have a banner, our soldier bombs out, and then we all swing together, right? If you guys just kind of sit in this choke, especially if there's people back here, you're begging to be collapsed on. So need to get out of that doorway. So once you take wish, usually you're going to play at the back of wish, especially if they have ad or if they have like a player ad. The slow door is not going to be open instantly. It's not the end of the world. But what we'll do is just your sniper can play here and hold this angle before they get set up. Your demo and pyro medic will play at the back of wish because you're really only holding this temporarily. You should have your heavy outside. Your heavy can play up on this rock right here. So your heavy can play up on these rocks, and then you could have your spy spot slow door. If you have your spy on B with like cloak and dagger or whatever, you could use the big ammo pack as well. If you have your spy spotting B, he can see anything that goes back to spawn or drop down or slow door or wishbone. So he can see like 4 different areas they could go. But if you have your soldier on slow door with your heavy, if your soldier and spy are spotting the same thing, they're just going to fight your engineer, right? Our NG needs to have people with him in heaven, and if there's no soldier, no scout, they're just going to walk all over him. So make sure, like, if you can't spot slow door or whatever because your spy is dead, then it's fine to just have your heavy do it. But usually, I think it's better instead of having our soldier come also help slow door. I think it's better if we don't have eyes at all, just come play out here. That way, you can minimize the risk of getting walked all over, right? So yeah. So I kind of just like play further back here. That way, if they try and flood through or take an Uber exchange, you guys can play back on C. When you're playing on C, you're going to play close, okay? This is good if you're even or ad or neither team has Uber. If you're at disad, it's not good. Basically, we just play here. The problem with C is that if you play really far back, like back here, you give them a fuck ton of space, and it's not good. And if you're playing on the point and they get through, if their demo and soldier bomb this, which this doesn't really seem like it's too far from spawn, but in an actual fight, this feels like an eternity to cross. So they're going to cut you off and you're going to die. So when you're going to play close, just have your heavy play up top, like over there, right? You're going to have your demo pyro medic hug this wall right here. So this way your medic's not really in a sniper sight line. And because we're closer to the slow door players than their sniper, it's a lot harder for their sniper and their heavy and soldier to get value, okay? So here our demo can spam slow door, we can support our heavy, we don't have to worry about an SVS, right? Your demo and pyro can still look and stuff wishbone, and should you want to clear out wishbone or take an Uber into it, you're literally right here. So this is good when you guys just call to hold close. If you're down some people or don't have Uber or whatever, then it's okay to back up and get ready to go heaven. There are ways to hold C, that are pretty efficient, kind of like what I just showed you, but your general consensus is if we lose C, it's better than wiping and losing E. Like if we lose C but get a really good heaven hold, it's okay. Like I remember my match last season on this map. How quick did they cap B and C? It was like 3 minutes.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 minutes, and then it turned to like 14 minutes because we decided heaven the rest of the game. So it's okay to give up C and play heaven. Recommitting C is really, really, really fucking hard. And a big mistake that teams make super fucking often, even in invite, is taking Uber exchanges into C and then they can't get in. So all they did was waste their Uber. So like if I'm playing offense and I come up top and I'm locking out the spawns, if you guys want to try recommitting C with Uber, unless you're planning to like have a wishbone pinch or wrap them, whatever, if they already have a ton of cap time, getting through the door is hard enough. Then you have to get to the point and block it, and then you have to get kills with your Uber and make sure you don't get collapsed on. That is so fucking hard to do. It's so unnecessary, right? And if you come out to trade, either they're not going to use at all, or you're going to use just to run away. So all you're doing is throwing away your Uber or your even Uber or whatever, just to lose the point anyway. So if you're going to lose C, or they start, pressuring heaven, our combo would go back to Heaven instead. So usually when you're going to play Heaven, always have your demo medic cross from the left side here. Your medic can pretty much sit here the entire time. It's so hard to get stabbed or bombed or sniped, whatever. But peeking from this right side, whether the sniper is Wishbone or Old Spawn or JFK, you just don't want to die there. So I always, as like demo medic heavy pyro, just like come out the left side instead, like this, and then we can just climb up top. Okay. When you are playing in Heaven, just kind of put the gun here. It's better to like cage yourself in than it is to have it here, because you can get bombed, stabbed, sniped, spammed, whatever. So just kind of put the gun in here and then just hide.
Is
you
that
know,
what your engineer
as-
would do?
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes it so much harder to kill you because the gun can still be here. You can like hide from the sniper, and because of like the packs in here or telly, you could use the Eureka effect and shit like that. Like having the dispenser and these packs and a telly and the gun is physically body blocking the door means it's like impossible to die to spy, and it's really, really, really hard for the soldier to bomb you as well, right? They would need to have like their sniper and spy and soldier all pressuring you out together, and you would also have to have nobody near you for them to kill you.
I find it hard to like. The number one thing that I found playing there is like the sniper JFK can pin you down behind the gun, and then like
Right.
you can use the gun to block your whole self, but it's hard to keep it consistent.
Well, just kind of think like one. Of course, we need to know where their sniper is, right? Like you will know that beforehand. And if their combo just capped C or they were in Wishbone, their sniper is like he's not going to be in JFK. You know, he's going to be Wishbone or with his combo. So from there, he can't really see you. Of course, once they go to A and lobby, it's different because he can see you. But at that point, your team will be with you in Heaven. So
Okay.
basically, what I'm getting at is you don't really need to be concerned about the sniper randomly going JFK alone and killing you. You know, because if his combos in Wish are just capping C, there's no way he should be on that side of the map, right? And if he is, then he's like free food for your spy. So
Okay.
the only time that you should actually be concerned about that is once they're actually trying to like pressure D or pressure E or pressure lobby, whatever, and your combos in Heaven, then I'd be worried about that. But like you've got your demo here, your spy can call it, you've got your sniper. So at that point people can actually help you. Anyway, yeah, if you have to give up C and hold Heaven, that's okay. So once we're holding Heaven, just have your demo pyromedic sniper NG heavy play in Heaven. And your flank should be spotting death and lobby. So I'd have probably like my soldier spotting lobby and my scout just kind of here spotting death hall. That way you can rotate back and forth. You can help lobby, you can fight lockers, you can help E, you can get critils in Heaven, but we need eyes on death hall. So make sure someone's spotting this. And then when you're spotting it, you know, if you guys get the call they're going death, we can rotate and fight them. Usually I like to go from up top if I can. If you're too slow to get on D beforehand, like if your demo and your combo, if you guys can get on D before, like, you know, before they're even in, like if I can get on D before they get through the doorway, fine. But if they're already on D, then I just like to have like my heavy pyro go lower and like my soldier demo up top. It doesn't really matter the split as long as you guys go from the high ground and the low ground, right? I just think usually as demo, it's more preferable for me to fight up here because I can just like sync on the point, you know.
I think.
So yeah, I can sync.
You play like Sync? Lucky. I dream
So-
of the day.
If you're fast enough to meet them, it doesn't matter. We can lock them out. And then if they already are all on D, then just make sure we have a split to bully them out. Just keep in mind, once you're at this point, you're kind of in the position where you've like lost C. Heaven is pretty much your reset point for the rest of the game. Really, what you're going to be doing is holding Heaven and rotating to a door instead of holding a different doorway, right? We don't hold lobby. We don't hold D. We just hold Heaven and then we meet them because it's the safest place to play.
And when you say meet
So-
them, you do mean like walk through the con and meet them like in that door that you're in right now.
Yeah, so like I'm not gonna go default to lobby, right? Like once we lose C, if you instantly go to lobby, they're just going to pressure Heaven, kill you, and start getting time on point, right? And stuffing this door over here while capping is a lot easier than stuffing this, right? So like if you go lobby immediately, like you're kind of throwing it. And it's okay to give up lobby, like if they go to spawn and you know they get into lobby and they're going connector, if your flank calls they're already in lobby, don't take the fight to them, okay? If you're fast enough to meet them in lobby, say they go all the way around to A, usually you'll know that because it's like so long, you would kind of realize like, hey guys, they haven't been pressuring for like a whole 20 seconds. They're probably rotating really far, right? Or your flank will just spot it. But if they're going all the way around to A, your combo would come over here. You know, your demo will trap this off. Your heavy will watch behind. Your scout will watch Death Hall. You know, and then your demo medic pyro will play close. This is if they're not in lobby yet. But if they're already in lobby, just let them have it. Lobby itself does nothing, right? So if they have lobby, then just, you know, if they're going DE connector, I just call this connector elbow, DE, whatever. But if they're coming over here, literally it takes like 5 steps, and now you guys are just gonna meet them, okay? So we'll kind of come over here, stuff them, take our exchange, whatever, and then we'll go back to heaven, right? If they go lobby and they're kind of done trying the DE connector, they try pressuring under JFK, we'll sit here and just shoot them, right? So this way, like, you don't really have to move. Most you have to move is if you're really fast and they're through spawn, you go in lobby, or otherwise you just come to the right side. But you're really never going to be in a position where we just put ourselves back here, right? So yeah, and just make sure you guys know when your combo rotates to meet them, your flank and your combo swap, right? So if our combo's in heaven with our NG, and then our flank spots, oh guys, their combo's going lobby. When your combo goes lobby, your flank goes back to heaven. You know, if you guys are both trying to do the same thing, your NG is going to be alone, and they're going to kill your sniper, your gun. They're going to start getting cap time. So just make sure we know when we're swapping, right? Like, oh, okay, I'm going to go play lobby. If I see my soldier here, I'm going to tell him to go back. Okay. Really, the biggest thing that kind of ruins these DE holds or these lobby holds is after the Uber exchange, their flank will go behind in Death Hall. So make sure you still have eyes on that. That's really going to be like your scout and spies job a lot. But, you know, like, okay, if our combo's in lobby, our scouts in heaven just periodically come over here, spot death, you know, because what most combos will do is they'll have their combo go B, or excuse me, A, and then in the post Uber, their flank, so soldier, you know, scout, maybe they're heavy if they were whipping him, and then their spy are going to come behind you guys in lobby and try and wrap you here. That's why I think it's generally better that if it's an Uber exchange, your heavy should be looking behind, because you don't want your heavy to take a flash. But it's kind of like an extra precaution, right? If your scout's spotting behind, your heavy can look forward, and if your scout's not, you know, spotting behind, or we can't spot Death Hall, your heavy can do that. If you're in a position where you feel like you guys are going to get pinched, like, hey guys, we're down some people, I don't feel comfortable holding lobby, just back up. Okay, remember, lobby itself does nothing. It's okay to give that up and play in heaven. So if you guys don't think, you know, you want to spot it, or your Uber's going to go bad, back up. You know, if they're behind, we can deal with them, and then we can either sit here or go back to heaven if we've lost too many. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
One question I have about the defense is it a concern to rotate from like close C to heaven if they start pressuring E? Because I remember in the past we would play mostly, and Natalie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we would play C mostly up top and just like try to kill them as they walk up, and then we could fast rotate to heaven if they try to like go wish to E.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, what you can do, I mean, there's really 2 things you can do. If you're really passive on C, you would just go heaven, okay? If you're close on C and close to Wishbone, then I would just come over here and meet them this way, right? So, like, let's say, okay, it's even Ubers, and we're close on C, and they just start pressuring heaven through E instead. We're literally 2 feet away from them. So just pressure them out here. If it turns into an Uber exchange or a dry fight or whatever, then we can commit to that, and should the Uber be worse or our dry fight be worse, then we can back up. But if you're close, there's no reason to go all the way to heaven when we're right next to them. If you're far back and you're on the height, then of course this makes more sense because you're right here, you know?
And what about lobby? Like, what if they go lobby to E after they cap B?
That's just, okay, well, if they go lobby, you would just go heaven, because that is so shit.
Okay.
Going lobby is only good if you have C, because it's so, like, there's, like, so many things wrong with that. If they go lobby, they're, like, leaving their Wishbone players alone. They don't even have the bridges down yet. That's they're going to be, like, the biggest downside is D puts up the railings and C puts down the bridge. So if they do go to lobby, you guys can just sit heaven the rest of the game, and it's such a long rotate for them, right? You can literally sit heaven the rest of the game, and there's no way they can cross into you because the only people that can play the point are people who can jump, right? So if they just, cap B and then go all the way around to A and lobby, they're honestly trolling. And then you would just sit heaven because, who the fuck is going to cap? The only people that can jump, if they jump to the point with like 7 people in heaven all buff, they're going to explode, right? So both for you and for them, like going lobby is really only good after you have C. It's not really doable if C hasn't been capped yet.
Understood.
Anyway, yeah. So just sit in heaven the rest of the game. I mean, I've kind of already talked about the whole DE thing. Once they start clearing out heaven, though, oh, that's another thing. If they go wish, just sit in heaven because it's so hard to get out of wishbone from heaven. Hard for a soldier to bomb it. Hard for their combo to get out, their demo to swing. So sitting in heaven basically makes you invulnerable. And then your flank would just keep spotting lobby and death hall. But even if they're underneath JFK, imagine the bridges are down, right? What teams will try and do is if they can't go D, they'll just try and pressure from underneath JFK and walk across the point, right? To do that, of course, they're going to have to kill your demo, your sniper, your gun. So it's going to require some focus firing. But it should be doable. So, or doable for you should you have good focus firing. So yeah, I mean, once you lose heaven, like, if they're, if they do clear out D, once they're capping D, I think it's better to make it into spawn as quick as you can. If you don't, you're going to die in heaven. So usually if like your sniper and NG are still in heaven, unless you can TP out with like the Eureka effect, you're probably going to die. Your sniper can afford to get in the spawn, but really your NG can't. So you kind of just have to play to stall them as long as you can. But it's good to like, okay, if they're capping D, I'm gonna call to get in spawn as fast as possible. Otherwise, we're gonna full wipe in heaven, and then we're gonna have like 30-second spawns. So from here, I think it's good to have your combo go wish and your flank go lobby. I don't think it's good to have everybody go the same direction because you want to peek more than one doorway, right? So your NG is gonna die in heaven, whatever. Our combo is gonna go wish. And usually there should be like a gun or a soldier here. So kind of expect people to be meeting you. It's also pretty common once they're capping to have demos trapping this off and shit like that. So I always make sure we just kind of like jiggle peek the corner first to see what's there. I mean, from here, we're just going to do whatever we want, with the split, right? If you want your sniper to go hell and your demo to go wish, I think that's good because your sniper can shoot people on point. If you want your sniper to go wish and your demo to go hell, I think that's fine. Some people go loose cannon for that. It's not really necessary just because it juggles them off the point, but it's really
I
hard.
do it because it's funny.
I mean,
I'm also pro at the loose cannon.
It is reliable, I guess, but if the pyro is staring you down, it's just so hard to do anything. Because the pyro's staring you down, like Iron Bomber is hard enough. So,
yeah.
So yeah, usually I like to go wish and then have our flank go lobby. Like if you want your demo and sniper to go DE connector or the other side. And if your combo has to go lobby, just make sure that we're going different directions and syncing up the time. So if our combo goes lobby and our flank goes wish, make sure we wait to peek, we all peek together. But if you guys have like 9 people go one doorway, there's no fucking way you're going to recommit, okay? And so from there, like after you clear them out, whichever way you choose to do it, just retake heaven again. So if we have a really good Uber, we get everybody off the point, it's really chaotic. When they're resetting in heaven, just go retake it. You're going to be playing heaven the rest of the game until they cap. So once we clear all them out, don't let them just sit in heaven with a telly and reset and wish or lobby. Take our exchange, clear them out. We'll jump heaven, and then we'll just sit here. Even though the doors are closed, at this point, we've wiped them, we've stalled the point, we can play in heaven again. And you just do that until you lose or win, basically. Just make sure you guys don't like reset in the door that you were just sitting at, And then real quick, just because I mean, I find it highly unlikely you guys are gonna get AE'd. Actually, well, maybe you guys do get AE'd and like lose in like 2 minutes. Maybe that will happen. But if you're going to get AE'd, if they do AE or ABE, just okay. So what we're gonna do is have our combo go back to wish. Okay, leave your gun and heavy on B. Really only bring the gun back when there's significant pressure on E. If there's only a few things going to E, or they're just kind of getting in heaven, or 1 or 2 people are getting on the point, the gun is much better off on B. So if they're going behind to E and lobby, your demo sniper pyro medic playing wish. Okay, you don't want to come to the back of Wish. You don't want to wide peek their sniper either of these directions. Literally just sit here where all you can see is the point. Okay, and we're just going to shoot the cappers and go back. All right. If they keep throwing bodies on the point one by one, they don't try getting anybody behind. They don't try exchanging. They don't kill anybody on B. All we have to do, kill people on point and sit here if they're still there, or just rotate away. That way we're not so deep in. If we're like really deep over here or deep, back here, it's a lot harder to meet them on B if they go drop down. But from this side of Wish, there's really no way we can get pinched. No way we can die to a sniper or a soldier bomb or anything like that. And we're close enough to meet them on B. So if I get the call they're gonna go drop down, I literally just like put down a sticky and just jump all the way over here, and we'll meet them. Of course, that's if you're like really fast. I would not, if they're like through the door already, I wouldn't land right in front of them. But you gotta get the point. There's really no benefit in peeking out here, because if they try going into you, your demo pyro is gonna send them into the pit, right? Which is why AE fucking sucks unless you're insanely fast or the team is really bad. If there's things in heaven, once we clear out the people on E and all that, always make sure we kill the things in heaven together. Okay. So if they leave or we've finished the fight, they're resetting, they're getting their spawns, let's clear the things in heaven, right? Let's buff our soldier, let's buff our sniper, buff our spy, whatever. I'm gonna shoot some sticks at the gun. We're gonna sap the gun, shoot the gun. Our soldier's gonna jump heaven, we're gonna fight it together. Whether your combo's on B or your combo was just Wishbone, whenever there's a setup in Wish or in heaven, you guys need to deal with it together. If you need a buff before you go, come get a buff. If your combos in Wish, they can help you peek it a little bit, but never, ever, ever go 1v1ing their NG or their soldier or their scout, especially if they're in your Wish or your heaven already, right? Because it takes like an extra 2 seconds to make sure you guys are there together. If you're all on B and the old spawn and Wishbone, you're not that far apart, right? So yeah, I would just do that the rest of the game. You could just have even if you wanted to, you could have your sniper, like I said, in the old spawn. And then if they do A, B, E, it's literally just, they just, instead of going C, they just start going to Wish. So that would just be like, expect them to go drop down fast. But once they cap B, you would basically just fight Wishbone the rest of the game. Like I said, there's really no reason for them to actually commit to C. If they do have enough cap time, or you guys have long enough spawns where they can jump the point, it's still doable. So if they do A, B, E, right, we would just play heaven the rest of the game. Okay. So should we be on C, expect to go C, and then they don't, we go heaven, right? We sit heaven the rest of the game, and then it's just a rotating game, right? If you're in heaven, they can't cap E, so they have to go C. If you're quick enough, you can recommit. If not, you'll just say heaven, and then it'll be, like I kind of explained for the last 20 minutes. So just, like I said, that's really the same thing. Just make sure you guys know that you just be sitting in heaven the rest of the game, because you can't really deny A, B, E efficiently from Wishbone. They can stuff you very easily in the door, just as you can them, or you can stuff them. But it's more about if their flank is up here, So, and thankfully offense isn't that fast, so, or isn't that long. I mean, so are we kind of clear on the majority of things now? Because I definitely did touch up on some offense things I'll mention already.
Oh, do you think it's
What,
stronger to Oh, go on, Mel. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
All I was gonna say is, do you think that it's stronger to start by pressuring Wish or pressuring E when, like, for the flank?
Well, on offense, if they're in Wishbone, right? If they're like close in Wishbone, their sniper's holding it, the demo has traps. In order to pressure E, we need to have a little bit of space in Wish, right? So I mean, you have to get them out of this door to begin with, right? So I'd probably pressure this first until they back up, and then if they're back on C, then I would pressure E. But if they're kind of close and I know we can pinch them, I'll just commit to C instead. Or if they're down a lot of people, right? But I would always pressure Wishbone first, because you're gonna need that space regardless, right?
Okay.
But if we have like a lot of kills or whatever, I just go to C just because why not? Like if we like exchange and Wish and then our flank goes slow door in the post and then suddenly they lose 5 people, I'll be chasing them to C so we don't let them out. Like you're, cutting them off here or whatever. Just because the more kills you have, why would we not keep chasing them? It's a free point, and then you can go back to wish from there if you want. Anyway, so on B, I'm just gonna kind of go over this as quick as I can. Or on offense,
Should we be concerned about the A hold, or is it easy as fuck to beat?
I think it's easy to beat should your team be synced up. But if like 90% of invite teams can't do it right, I highly doubt some random advanced team will.
Okay.
But in the event that they're on A, I'll just quickly talk about this anyway because I was going to talk about why you send so many people to A. So the more people we send to A, the more resources we can help lock off the spawn. The more people out here can spy check. If they are on A, then we can actually just bring our medic out and take our exchange instead of just having our flank go to the point and die. If there's more people on A, we can lock out the spawn, we can get cap time, look for spy, and clear JFK all at the same time, right? If we just send like 2 or 3 people and our flank is getting picked off or their combos here, they're just going to be buying a lot of time. So the more resources you have here at the start, the better. And you can just kind of come here, help, cap and help clear out spy. And then once we get half cap, your combo can go back. And you'd be surprised how quickly you cap A. Like you can buy yourself a lot of time. Because some teams, if you kind of go one by one, they'll be stalling or have their flank come out of spawn and all that. So you can buy a lot of time just by that insurance, that peace of mind that your combo all did it together. So we just kind of come out of the start. If they're holding A, just exchange far left. So what we do is if they're holding A, buff your soldier and heavy, and they'll kind of play up here. Usually the gun will be like here or around here. And like their combo is going to be like more around this side with their sniper like far on the point, like back this or back here over here. So if they're holding A, just exchange our Uber. Don't do it over the hill. Just do wide left. I just do demo pyro. And then during the Uber, someone sits on our sniper. Okay. So really all we need is to make sure we collapse together. Okay. So we come over here, we demo pyro, make the muse, kite a little further back, right? And then in the post, we get ready to collapse. We start swinging left. And then when you do that, your soldier and heavy flood from up top. If they all look left, you guys are going to die. And if you all, go hill, then you're also going to die. So we need to sync it up so that when our combo starts peeking left and we start fighting them left and bullying out their sniper and all that, then our soldier and heavy just kind of, you can spam them here, wherever, with the gun, can't really see you. And then once the gun is dead or pressure out, we just collapse on them physically. If there's no gun, you can literally drop like right on top of their heads when their combo's fighting. But that's usually like the hardest part is like syncing up the collapse, So.
Okay.
But if they don't do that, you would just come out here above your flank. Okay. And then what I like to do is come up here and lock off this spawn as demo with like 8 stickies because that'll kill like a DR spy. And then you can, because you'll have your heals out here, you can buff your soldier and your soldier will clear out JFK. Just because spies might hide JFK if they can't get it into spawn, or if they're waiting to collapse in your flank, they could have their flank up here. So just, again, it only takes 2 seconds. Just have your soldier come clear out JFK, your demo will hold the spawn. Everybody else will cap. From here, if you're planning to send people behind, it's a lot easier, right? We have buffs. If we killed spy, we know it's a lot more likely that we get behind successfully. So from here, like you can, if you want to get a gun behind, you can buff your NG, buff your pyro, buff your soldier. If your medic just sat in the B spawn the entire time, that would not be possible. So especially if you're going to send people behind, we need to have more people here and have our combo here just to give them buffs so they can actually get there, right? From there, it's just like, if your combo goes back to B, like if your plan is to exchange B, that's fine. Usually what I like to do is get our flank behind. So like get a gun and wish. If you're going to get a gun and wish, okay, have your pyro go back and not your scout. If you're going to do that, it's because one, like pyro is a lot better for like fighting in these small rooms like wishbone or fighting the soldier and things like that. Scout can't really do it as well. So if the plan is, okay, guys, we're going to exchange on B, let's get a gun and wishbone. Buff your soldier, pyro, NG, they will go back, right? If you're struggling getting in from like the E side, you can literally go all the way around the death hall. If you want to go death hall, you can, or if you want, you could literally come down here, go through hell and either get through wishbone like this or go through like the back of hell to see. But there are more reliable routes to get a soldier, NG, and pyro and wishbone that aren't just straight from lobby to E. You can go the long way. Because your combo is going to be clearing up B while you do that anyway, right? So if you do that, that's fine. If you don't, you just have your gun in B main. Just kind of put your gun here. So we're going to clear the sticks. We're going to take our, clear out upper before the exchange. So we're going to clear out upper. I like to have the gun and the pyro, or the gun and the sniper watch main. That way we can send our pyro demo soldier heavy up top. If you want to do bonk strat, I guess you can. You don't really have to. Just make sure that whenever you're clearing upper, someone is watching your back. If everybody is going up top, they're gonna wrap you main, kill your demo, kill everybody, force your medic, and all that. So you can just kind of put the gun further back, just wrangle it. Your sniper and gun will watch main. And then, just pre-fire in these little crevices for the sticks. We'll clear upper, right? Kill the telly, and now we're gonna exchange. You pretty much always have to clear out upper before the exchange, unless you send a bunch of people behind. And the only reason for that is if there's more people behind, there's less people to clear out upper, right? So that's more of like a guys, we have to act fast kind of thing, okay? But if there's not a lot of people behind, just kind of come here. We're gonna exchange. Just demo pyro to the door. I like to lead on my pyro to kind of air blast their pyro a little bit further back, and then I like to peek behind it. And during the Uber, don't push concrete. Just buff your soldier and heavy. They will chill back here, okay? So yeah. And then in the post, and this is really important, in the post, the gun has to die. Either we need to kill the gun before the Uber or after, but killing the gun during the Uber is generally really hard. So your spy needs to be in a position to get on the gun in the post, whether it be to physically sap it or enforce it when your flank floods in or whatever. But the gun needs to die, basically. So the gun will die in our post, whatever. We're going to get through. I like to just have your pyro get through first to check for sticks or air blast or demo pyro back, and then we all swing together. If your heavy and soldier really can't get up top, then you could even just have your pyro swing and your heavy come through main behind your pyro and your demo. But as long as we get out of the door, we should be good. You can never recommit B if you've got a bunch of people just sitting here inside each other because they don't want to eat spam or die. Another thing that I think is pretty good, honestly, is if your scout can't pressure anything behind, if you're not getting any cap time on offense on scout, in terms of capping E, you're better off just helping B anyway, right? Because what's the use of, if you're not drawing people behind, you're not capping, they're not going back for you, you're getting no value, so you're essentially not playing. So what I think is good is in those Uber exchanges in the post, you can just have your scout go drop down. So when the gun dies, your scout will go drop down and run at their demo. So that way it's they have to look here. If our soldier's behind, they have to look behind, and they have to look main. Of course, that'll really only happen if the gun is wrangled or dead, but that way we can kind of bully out their demo and pyro from 2 different directions. Okay. So I think that's pretty good, but you don't really have to do that. Afterwards, we're gonna lock out the corner. When we're here, we're gonna swing together. Your soldier can honestly high bomb off this wall or off this wall and land on them on plat. But once we're swinging, we just want to make sure we get people capping and people forward. Okay. If everybody's capping, they're gonna get out of the door. If everybody's forward, they have enough time to recommit because we're not getting any cap time. So just kind of play here. You can have your heavy play here if you want, so you can kind of peek through this window. You kind of lock them off. You'll be here before they're heavy. And then as demo, I kind of just play here. And we'll have our scout pyro NG cap. Even your sniper. If your sniper wanted to cap, your sniper could be further back here, to watch for up top, and then in the post kind of just shift to the right side so they peek you. But as long as we're capping and some people are forward, we can prevent them from getting to the chokes. If ideally we should take wishbone as fast as possible. So if they're in spawn and they're waiting, right? If you guys get a lot of kills and you want to already start moving, have your flank cap, have your beam and your combo take wishbone. Do it before you cap, okay? If you take wishbone before you cap and they try taking wishbone, if they're too slow, this spawn behind them is going to close indefinitely, okay? And now they either have to walk into wishbone into you, so they'll die or get sent into the pit, or they have to go all the way around because the bridges aren't down yet. And see, the longer that this takes, the more time you have to pressure heaven, pressure E, go C because they're not there, right? So taking wishbone blocks off a huge rotate opportunity for them. So the faster we do that, the better, right? If you can't do it, it's not the end of the world. But generally, we should make sure they can't get in here before the B spawn caps. Because if it does, and then it closes, they just have to back spawn on C. All right. So if they do that, they back spawn on C. Well, that means I can pressure heaven instead. You know, I don't have to go into them on C. So yeah. If they're playing in Wish, you can't get in Wish. We just have to blade them out together, right? Buff our soldier heavy, they can go slow door. Just kind of peek here, right? Help with the SVS, all that. Just demo pyro, right? Clear the sticks, take our exchange. In the post, if they're committing to Wish, your soldier heavy would go slow door and wrap them. And if they are, you know, out on C, if they're really passive, just pressure heaven. Okay, that'll bring them to you. That's the biggest thing on offense. Is just because their combo is standing somewhere on defense does not mean you have to walk into them. Okay, if they're really passive on C, there's no reason for me to bring that fight to them. They're not stuffing me here in Wishbone. I can pressure E just fine. And either they're going to sit there and let me, you know, pressure E and let me start getting cap time, or they're going to have to leave and bring the fight to me where I'm already set up. All right. So just do that. Don't fight them at the back of C if you don't have to. But yeah, you know, like I said, if they're down a lot of people, you want to chase them, that's fine. You can go C. If not, we just pressure heaven. So what I like to do is when we're going to pressure heaven, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my god. Okay. So we're going to pressure heaven. I like to have a gun here. Our heavy and demo kind of play right here. You can get your sniper to the old spawn, honestly. If you guys can cross, you can kind of get your sniper back here. It's really hard for them to come out of the spawn in that case. Have your pyro and scout jump to the point, and when your demo kills the gun, your soldier should jump up top. Okay. So here, the gun will die because our demo's in Wish. Our sniper is going to be in the old spawn or under JFK, whatever. We have ×3 on point. Our soldiers above them, and our demo's in Wishbone. Okay. So should they come heaven, our combo can just go to C, right? And should they come Wishbone, we have a heavy and a gun and a demo here to spot them. So we can meet both sides. If we are all committing to heaven and they go Wish, our med's going to die. So make sure your medic is not in Wishbone alone. Same thing for your NG, right? But at this point, you know, you can literally put the telly here, have the gun here, heavy demo watching this. So here, oh, if they're coming heaven, our demo can spam it. Then we can rotate. If they're coming Wish, we can spam it and we can keep playing E. But that way you've kind of got some options. You just want to make sure that you've got people capping, have people in heaven, have people in Wish. And that's kind of where your soldier and demo, you know, where they're standing, that's where that comes into play. Okay, so if you're going to go to C, you know, start locking off the doors, right? I think it's good to have your pyro play close. Your demo can honestly just kind of cap and sticky off the door, because like I can kind of cap from like here and still shoot sticks on the right, and I can also shoot the left side as well. You know, you just want people capping and people forward. If you're all playing back here, they're gonna bust out of the doors and block with Uber. If you get a lot of kills, you can go Death Hall. Usually Death Hall is one of those, we need to go fast, or they're full wiped and they have no spotting. Like if their flank is dead and their combo's heaven, they'd be pretty good to go Death Hall, right? Their soldier can't spot it, their spy is dead, he can't spot it either, we can go Death. But if they're already setting up for it, just go back Wishbone.
One thing
And
that
if you're gonna,
or sorry,
Sorry,
I
go
don't mean to interrupt, but
yeah, you're good.
one thing that we did in, I think last season and definitely our season of main, was that after we would cap C, we would actually walk all the way back to spawn and just go lobby, because we had like very little success trying to like go Death or go to E from C. Is that like reasonable, or do you think that that's just kind of like wasting 30 seconds?
Yeah, well, I do think it's reasonable because depending on the team, getting through Death is really hard, but it's even harder to get through Wish. If we're trying to get through Wish and cross to lobby, we have to like get through the sniper and the gun and the demo, and then cross like in front of all of them to go over here. And then when we get here, they're just gonna meet us in the DE connector anyway. I think it's fine, just because that rotate is really hard. Of course, if they're down the demo, sniper, gun, whatever, and you guys can actually make this cross, right? Like going over here, then that's fine. But rotating through spawn is okay, as long as like you have like your medic, you know, has scout speed, or you guys can like your soldier can whip you guys back if you want. That's fine, just because it will take a while.
Yeah,
but
'cause
yeah, from
that's
here,
the space we're looking for, right? Like around the old spawn.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can do that, we just have to pressure together. So I'll kind of peek like this. You can have your sniper peek here. Our pyro will clear the sticks. Buff your scout, and your scout can kind of get through for you and kind of peek wide, like back here. And then your demo. What are you doing? your demo and your soldier and sniper are going to shoot the gun. So we shoot the gun. If the sniper dies, whatever, then we cross to lobby. But if should you not be able to do that, going through spawn is okay. If you're going to go through spawn, just kind of come all the way back here. If you want, your soldier and demo can just go up drop down, just because you can jump up instantly. But you come up top, and then from here, we're just going to exchange on B. This is really important. So before you ever send your sniper JFK, okay, it's really common once teams cap C and they know you're going to go A to have a spy lingering there or their flank lingering there. Always make sure before your sniper goes JFK, it's unrealistic to expect that your NG is just going to sit on your sniper, okay? So when your sniper goes JFK, have your pyro or your scout give them a buff and come physically clear out JFK first, and then have your sniper come up here. Okay, it's a lot harder for them to, call your sniper, deny you, or bust out of the spawn, whatever, if we clear it out instead of just having our sniper figure it out himself. So clear out JFK and the spawn beforehand, then our sniper can go JFK. When our combo's here, we're gonna have to take our exchange. This is where I like to have my flank go behind. And just so you can kind of save yourself some time, if you want your flank to escort your combo here and then go back, just go through the drop down. You literally skip the entire spawn, and then you can just go to wish or whatever. But what I like to do here is just demo pyro heavy, right? Take our exchange. If they're not in lobby, we just take lobby. But if they're here, we have to exchange. And then in the post, our flank will come in, right? So in the post, the only way we can really get on their combo is if our flank goes from Death Hall. So that's where, okay, our soldier, scout, spy would come in. They'd come here. We'd wrap their combo. And either they're going to be leaving and backing into you guys, we keep chasing them, or they're going to be sitting here, you guys pinch them, and you can take lobby. But that exchange only really works out if they drop people or someone is behind. If they don't, then there's really no incentive for them to ever leave this spot, and it's an eternity for you to go back. So once you have lobby, okay, two things. Either we're going to pressure D or we're going to pressure heaven. If they're playing on D, pressure heaven. If they're playing in heaven, pressure D. You want to bring them to you, okay? So if they're going to come D, again, I like to have our flank go Death Hall. But if they're going to come D, just have your heavy buffed, have them sit in lockers, don't peek during the Uber. And then, as for like your scout and your soldier, your scout, if he wants, can just kind of, come through death as well. Because pressuring E if they're in heaven is so really hard. So just kind of, even if they're on D, just kind of come through here, take these fights, your soldier can do his thing, whatever. And then we'll wipe them on D, we'll clear out heaven afterwards. So yeah. And then if you're on D, I didn't really specify this before, but if you go Death Hall, okay, and this is very easy to understand, but if you go Death Hall and you're at Uber disad or player disad, don't accept death and just die on D, okay? If you know, like, hey guys, they have Uber ad, or hey guys, we're down some people, right? Kite to lobby where you can get out. So if they're capping, right, if we're trying to cap, and let's say I'm playing medic and I know we're at disad, I'm not going to be on the point sitting here. I'm going to be further back here. So when we cap, or if we get cap time and they use into us, we can run away instead of just dying in a corner, okay? So you want to position yourself on D that, if you have to back up, you can actually leave and live to fight another day instead of just, well, we died, but it's okay because we have quick spawns, right? Anyway, yeah, after you cap D, just go clear out heaven. Especially with your Uber, you could do that. And if you're trying to pressure underneath JFK, get our sniper set up in JFK. Our spy should be on Enforcer. We're going to peek here, kill their sniper, shoot the gun. And then we can just try and cross into them, right? So if they're all sitting heaven, we just peek our sniper, we shoot the gun, and then you guys can, the bridges aren't here, but just kind of imagine they are. You just walk across the point. So just kind of, take our exchange, whatever, kill the gun, come start playing on point. And then once you're playing on the point from here, just, make sure that we have people locking off the doors, okay? So if you have D and the heaven spawn is closed, you don't have to worry about it. If not, your demo can just lock off the heaven spawn here, or your soldier and heavy can play above them. But once you're capping E, it should be ×5 only, and then everybody else should be meeting a doorway. You don't need to have ×9 on point, okay? And if you have power classes capping, they're being useless. Like, your soldier and heavy should not be capping. Your sniper should not be capping. So, get your sniper set up in the old spawn, right? If you are JFK, it is kind of risky because at this point, once your team is on E, they could just stab you. So you can get your sniper set up in the old spawn. Your scout, pyro, NG, or scout, pyro, medic, I guess that's already ×4. And then I guess your demo can also cap. So what we'll do is from here, our soldier heavy are in heaven. our sniper's in the old spawn. Our gun is either here or in Wishbone. And what we'll do is, okay, if they're going to come Wish, I will rotate over here on demo and sticky it off. Or if they come DE connector, we've got our flank here, our sniper here. I can look into the DE connector. If they come lobby, use these windows to your advantage. You can meet them lobby. But that way, you guys can cap and lock them out. The only thing you have to worry about from then are what the Ubers are, okay? So say you're at disad, and okay, they're going to go Wishbone. Well, if they use their Wishbone, position yourselves to kite to lobby, okay? You don't want your medic to just die, like I said. So, okay, they're going to go Wish. Okay, they use, we go lobby. If they're going to go lobby or DE connector and they use, we're going to kite to Wishbone, right? So you guys need to just make sure you understand that beforehand, because it will change depending on where they're going, but also just your medic should just kind of communicate where he's most comfortable leaving, right? And then if you ABE, just like, you know, you cap A, you cap B. If you're gonna go drop down, just have your demo scout go drop down. I don't like everybody to go drop. If you ever do these fakes where you go drop down instead, demo scout are really the only classes that can go drop down with the Uber. If we have 9 people in drop down during the Uber, we're flashing all those people or half our team is dead. So just kind of go drop, you know, we can come through. If there's no gun, no heavy, whatever, or if it's just a gun, just a heavy, we don't have to use. And then otherwise you can just you know, use if they're here. But in the post, I think it's good to have your heavy and soldier push up top, because if your sniper, heavy, soldier all go drop down with the Uber, you guys are all ending on the low ground in the same place, okay? But if just our demo scout and medic go drop down, right, then our sniper has an angle in B main, and when they're all looking at us, our soldier and heavy will push up top, okay? So if you guys communicate you're going drop, don't bring everybody there. Leave some people in the B spawn, okay? And you know, I kind of already talked about how to pressure E, you know, the whole, you know, gun and wish, you know, our combo playing
pyro,
close,
yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what your
So I mean,
is that what your team does? Like have a pyro go with the NG?
if our NG is going behind, yeah.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, it just helps with taking extra fights. But it's good to do that if you have your soldier. I would much rather a scout go drop down or help me in the Uber on B rather than go behind. Because really, your scout can only get value going behind if your soldier and NG already have a lot of space, or if your scout's capping. If your scout has to like brute force these 1v1s or can't get any cap time, what good is your scout there? You know.
I've noticed that this is like a kind of anecdotal, but I've noticed that a lot of spies are so fucking bored on defense that they will just sack to kill the NG and sap the gun if he puts it in Wish. So home record could be useful.
Yeah, I think it's good to spot primarily. I honestly do think that it's not that bad to be on home wrecker on this map. But I think usually on defense, it is going to be boring for some classes. But I would rather my spy be bored but have good calls rather than die. But if there are things in Wishbone and your spy is like, yo, can our flank go back? I can fight them in Wish. If he goes back to fight them in Wish, as long as you have like a soldier and a scout go back with him, if he dies but we kill the things behind, it's worth it.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
The only other thing I really did not mention is I kind of did when I touched on Heaven, but anytime you kill people behind, find the telly instantly, right? Don't just assume like, well, I didn't see it Heaven, so I guess there isn't one, right? Like check common spots. Like it could be on C, you know, it could be right here. It could be back here in this like hallway tunnel thing, whatever. It
DE
could be in the back
connector.
of Wish. Yeah, it could be in the DE connector. It could be in Death Hall. And of course, like thankfully, like your soldier and scout are pretty mobile classes, so they can just go back and find it. But if they ever got things in DE or C or Heaven or Wishbone, we always want to make sure we actually find the NG and the telly instead of just assuming it's going to be dealt with.
That's
So, yeah.
an MBM bot.
Yeah.
Does anyone have questions for Kira? Let me check
God,
if anyone's
no.
watching the
Yeah.
stream right now.
Triba, for when they're gonna go lobby on defense, when we're combos rotating to meet them, what was just the spot that I should go again? Like I just wasn't paying attention at that point, honestly. Because I would assume that I would just kind of play like in lockers, and that way I could watch Death Hall like from there, but still be close to them.
So in this
Like if I
situation,
needed to
you're
peek.
on offense, or
No, on defense. Like we're rotating to meet them in lobby. Like they're
Oh.
going lobby, and we're rotating
Yeah.
to meet them.
Okay, well, if you can't get in lobby fast enough, then you can just kind of play right here. Like if you're meeting them in the DE connector, just kind of play here.
Yeah.
And if you're already in lobby, you know, your demo and pyro, you want to give them the Uber because your pyro. Can
Yeah,
suck
yeah.
them,
Like
your demo
I
can
don't want to
chill
be
back here.
close there ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can literally just like chill back here. Like
Okay.
if your pyro's dead, you can kind of take the Uber. Your demo can play behind it. You can hug this wall. I don't think playing in
Yeah.
this corner is good because you don't really have vision of when they get through.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But if they're taking an Uber exchange, then you can just say like, oh, I'm watching behind during the Uber. You know.
yeah. That's like what I was.
Especially like if your scout's dead. So just kind of be like, you kind of want to be in a position where you're close enough to fight, but you don't really need a flash, right? So like around here is like fine.
Yeah, like
and
if
then
there was gonna
if
be
they
a
come
post,
behind,
I
you
would be
can
there.
fight as well.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
As
long
my
as you're not
other
taking that
thing-
Uber, it's okay.
Yeah. My other thing was basically the same thing, but on the other side. When you're talking about taking that trade in lobby, like I know that should be demo pyro, but you mentioned like just sending the rest of your combo there, like including me. Like, what am I really doing there? Like, if I'm
well,
playing here on A, like when
it's
they're taking
kinda-
this trade in lobby, because I thought like what I was thinking I could do is like help go behind and be a part of that pinch, honestly,
If
or
you-
something like.
That's really only good if you do it really early, because otherwise,
Yeah.
without whips, you're really slow.
Well, yeah, I could be with the soldier and be getting whips
yeah,
the whole time.
I
is, like,
think-
the
I think
idea.
that's fine. There are really only a few times where my heavy does that. It's like, oh, if the telly goes to wish and he already took it, he's like, well, fuck it, I'll go behind, I guess. But if you're
Yeah.
already on A, really the only thing you can kind of do is just after the exchange, you know, just like let them take the Uber or whatever,
Mhm.
and then after the exchange, just kind of come in as like a strong backbone for your team, because really it's going to be your flank initiating that, right?
Yeah, because they have to. They're like a part of the
Yeah.
first part of
So
it.
like, should you not be behind, you kind of just have to just chill here. Your flank comes in, we start swinging, you come in, you know.
yeah,
But you
'cause
can't
I
really
was-
like lead that charge, you know.
Yeah, that was the thing. Okay, let's chill. So I was
Yeah.
gonna say, if I was gonna go behind, I would probably try to come through like lockers, honestly. So
Yeah,
But-
that would be fine if you did that.
okay, I might talk to Swell about that then, or whoever our soldier is tonight. I don't know.
Boss
Yeah,
is subbing in.
It's boss. Okay.
Boss farm.
Boss. Does the one person watching the YouTube stream have a question for Kira?
That's the one
Is it
person.
Zoom?
Zoom is sleeping. He told me.
I think I know who it is.
It might be Bob.
Is it Bob? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Bob, it's Bob.
Oh,
be-
that's what you missed, Ethan. You missed Bob too.
No, you didn't miss anything.
He did miss Bob too.
That has been stimming over like Echo copies Ash. Ash uses. Oh, like I can't even. Yeah.
Bob,
Ash
like,
uses Bob.
Oh,
Echo
that's the
uses
joke.
Bob.
I read it, but I didn't
Bob
get
won.
it.
Where's the point?
You guys
Bob
haven't heard like the
two,
worst of the stem.
Like this is actually the worst. Stim. The worst
No,
stim
no.
yet is this whole like.
No.
Is it not that bad?
No,
What's the worst stem?
it's
Is it worse than
the
you?
song
Taking
you've been
me?
singing for the past like 5 days of like I went to Ohio because I needed a red 40.
Oh,
Average
What?
rating
Cadence
of
was there.
swing
Cadence
combo
was
instead of
there
behind.
for that.
yeah.
I feel like Nick
What'd you say?
A30.
Yeah, I gritted to Ohio because I needed some red 40. I feel like Nick A30.
This is the worst shit I've ever heard.
This is a fucking XXL brain rot.
What did you say, Ethan?
What I said to Average was, I was just asking him if he is like comfortable going to play with combo on B instead of playing behind, because Scout usually does that, from my understanding.
Oh,
Average said
Never
you're
mind,
a
brah.
bitch.
Just go play B, and then we'll send
Say you're
him
a
to play behind.
bitch.
awesome.
Okay.
Bob too.
Thank you very much for your
Uh,
time, Kira. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you very much.
Sure, Ethan.
Thanks, man. You're the best, man. All right.
You guys are so cute.
Thanks,
I-
bro.
I said. You need to die in a fire, bro. Get on Daisy.
Just gonna do you,
I'm
bro.
gonna hop out to
Just
the
like
scrims, but I'll see you guys in Mumble. Thanks for attending the CP
Just die
Steel
in a fire.
review.
Thank you, Ethan.